Hi, welcome into Energy Upgrade Feng Shui Tips. I'm Lisa, and I'm so glad that you found me here. It's been a while. So I appreciate you for sticking around my channel here on YouTube, and for those of you that have jumped on over to Facebook to join me in the High Vibe Entrepreneurial Women Facebook group, as well as the Conscious Collaboration Collective. I'm happy to see you here too. Today's going to be a deep dive collective reading. I'm going to be using the ancient I Ching to tap into what is going on. What's going on in the energy here as we're entering into June, right? June specifically. I'm told by all of my astrologer friends that it's going to be a wild ride, and I want to take advantage of it. And I thought I would share it with you. And plus, it's raining and stormy here, and I wanted to cheer things up. So I'm inviting you into my house as I do a session with you that involves the ancient and the modern. I'll say the quantum. I'm going to ask that you please make sure that you have a time to devote to yourself and this session. Make sure that you're fully hydrated, as we know that our bodies are mostly made of water, and we're going to be exchanging a lot of energy here through virtual means. Again, if you found me by accident or you are already a subscriber to this channel, thank you and welcome, and make sure you hit like and subscribe so you can help bring up this visibility. I'd like to be here a little bit more often and share this with more people out there in the collective, and thank you so much for those of you that have stuck around. So make sure that you're grounded. If you feel more comfortable, please being seated on the ground or with both feet on the ground will be helpful, as I will be using quantum energy as well. And isn't it cool that we can be together in these virtual means? And I'm so very much enjoying visiting so many of you that are also energy healers on YouTube. I enjoy listening to you. I find it very relaxing and just very affirming of a lot of things that are going on. It's hard to ignore the signs. It's hard to ignore when we see things repeated 3 times or hear things repeated 3 times. So if you enjoy watching these videos, I want to hear how you enjoy receiving this information. Do you watch, or do you listen, or do you watch them on playback? Do you hit pause at certain times? Some people in these energy upgrade deep dive sessions, they like to take notes. And a great way to start out the session is to maybe perhaps hit pause, write down on your piece of paper that you have nearby. If you don't have it, go grab it, with a brand new black ink pen. Could be red, actually. With intention. I want you to write down, what are your intentions? What are your intentions for June? What are you seeking clarity on? Maybe you write this out in cursive, because I love writing cursive. One of my mentors says it integrates more of areas of our brain that are not otherwise used unless we're writing in cursive. You could write it out in cursive. You could draw a picture, however that needs to look for you, so you can be well intentioned during and connected during this session. So let's get going. Whether or not you had to take this off of pause or not, I don't know. It doesn't matter. However you like to receive this is fine by me. Let's ask the ancient I Ching. Today I'm using the Paul O'Brien Visionary I Ching cards rather than coins. They're my favorite modality to use, but if you're practicing along with me, use whatever feels great to you in this moment. I've already cleared my space using sage and cedar today. It's also lovely to light a candle or incense when you're looking to connect. So I invite you to do that as well too. So please tell us, what is the energy surrounding the collective at this time, and what do we need to know moving forward into the month of June? And it doesn't matter if you grab this during June or even in June of another year. Let's say in the coming month, okay? Let's broaden it. Please tell us, what is the energy surrounding the collective in the coming month, so that we can move forward with greater clarity, ease, and joy in our process for our relationships, for our business. Just looking for 2 energies. A couple wanted to pop out there. Looking for, what is the energy around us now? What do we need to know moving forward into this next month? Whoop, whoop. That was 2. that wanted to jump up overview. That's really great to do this, to have a bird's eye view of what's going on in a situation. That was overview and fellowship that wanted to jump out there, but I'm just looking for one at a time. What is the energy around the collective at this time? Thank you. Ooh. Okay, the first energy to jump out, this is the energy around the collective at this time. I'm going to flash it to the camera. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very well. It's the energy of creative power. It's my favorite. It's my favorite energy, creative power. Sky above and sky below. Hexagram number 1. For those of you playing along with your I Ching books, you know what that means, right? All yang energy. All solid line energy. Creative power, it sounds very feminine, right? But the hexagram displays as masculine. All right. What do we need to know moving forward? Have greater clarity, ease, joy, and abundance in the coming month. In a state of creative power, shifting into. I'm excited. Woo! Revolution! All right, I'm super excited. This is just what my friends in astrology and also tarot have been confirming. So we are looking towards a time of revolution. Look at that flame in the middle of the water. Looks like, what is that, stalagmites coming up from the bottom. Mountain. I see lots of wisdom here, colors of wisdom and knowledge, revolution. Awakening all of those change makers and thought leaders out there. Now, before we get into exactly what this reading is going to tell us and advise, I would like to share with you an emotional or frequency calibration. Let's see if I can do this without screwing up. Okay. Sorry, I've got your name typed into the intention box. Energy Upgrade Feng Shui Tips Collective. Watch me right now. Let's see what's going on in our emotional aura field. The issue is sublimation. Sublimation. It's at a medium frequency of 6. And then feeling incomplete without another underlying that. That's at a rating of 10. So what this shows us is there's just a few tears, rips, impermeations within our collective aura field that we want to resolve. So we want to get rid of that or transmute that which no longer serves us into positive energy so we can repair our aura fields to be our own best 100% best positive. And that's going to help us move forward without taking on anyone else's energy. If we're empaths, that means, you know, if you're able to go out to the grocery store or bars, you're not going to be permeated by somebody else's stress. Now, sublimation, I had to look into that and see what exactly that means. And sublimation actually talks about, in psychology, it's a mature type of defense mechanism which is socially unacceptable. All right, this is, I had to do, so Sigmund Freud believed that sublimation was a sign of maturity and civilization, allowing people to function normally in culturally acceptable ways. And he defined sublimation as a process of deflecting sexual instincts into higher acts of social evaluation, being especially conscious, an especially conscious feature of cultural development. It is what makes it possible for higher physical activities, scientific, artistic, or ideological, to play such an important part in civilized life. This is interesting, right? So this isn't scripted. That's what's so cool about using the ancient and the modern. As we're talking about creative power that's around us right now, and then shifting into revolution, talking about change, sublimation occurs when displacement serves a higher cultural or socially useful purpose, as in the creation of art or invention. Do you feel, let's see, in which socially unacceptable impulses or idealizations are transformed into socially acceptable actions or behavior, possibly resulting in a long-term conversion of the initial impulse? Interesting. So this is showing up as a negative within self. And I understand this is perhaps, being able, this is something in terms of like a wall. And this is turning out to be a longer intro than I thought, but I think it's really pertinent to what's going on in the collective within our emotional aura field, because it's sort of talking about transmuting energy or like natural impulses so that we can be more culturally adaptable or accepted. So have you been feeling that you were putting on a mask or not really being able to embody, natural impulses? And I know the example in there was something that is sexual, and channeling that energy into art or other socially acceptable forms, or other physical activity, hobbies and sports. But creative power, that's something that I think is like, very much like an unleashing and an unmasking and standing in our authentic selves. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to be a very like sexually charged person. That's not what this is about. But is there something about you that you are masking or trying to transmute to please others? Sublimation. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you, or if this is, picking up on something that you've been facing, conversations. It's causing a little bit of stress in you, maybe a little bit of detachment, and also feeling incomplete without another, as we're talking about entanglement. Now, there's healthy entanglement. We are working with the entanglement theory in this modality right now using the virtual means. There's attachment involved in that and feeling incomplete without another. We know that we're whole on our own without another. Are we people pleasing? I know that's not listed here, but just some thoughts. We're going to go ahead and resolve whatever is going on in our emotional aura field and come back to see what the result is while I'm looking at the I Ching. Interesting. It surprises me and it doesn't when these are so on point. So let me tell you a little bit about this creative power. Thanks for sticking around while I did a little bit of researching there. So creative power, the first hexagram in the I Ching, the Book of Changes, all about creative power. It involves feminine and masculine. I mean, even this card, you see it's all yang lines, all masculine lines. And it looks even like, like almost like the egg meets the sperm kind of story going on in here, but a lot of natural elements. You might say that you see like a phoenix rising, or, the coming together of bodies, of nature, of elements. And so there is a feminine and masculine displayed in this, even though the hexagram is very masculine. There's a lot of energy here. The air is ripe with imagination, inspiration, and energy. The flying dragon, that's what it is. The flying dragon is an ancient symbol of dynamic, arousing force that bodes well for creative movement. So I know a lot of you are entrepreneurs that are joining me today, driven, career minded people, those who are change makers and thought leaders, and you want to do things different, right? There's just something that feels like, here I am talking about revolution before we even get there, but I have a feeling if you're still with me, you're one of these people that are really filled with this creative power to make significant changes for the greater good. And positive actions can be taken right now. It's going to be met with success. All right, so don't hold yourself back. Take off that mask. It's a good time to exercise leadership. Embody that which you desire fully. Really use that creative power. Like, what does it look like to be your best self? And like, how can you step into that and display it and really grab a hold of what you want? I give you full permission in this energy as we're moving into the next month. So, oh gosh, yeah. It says the hexagram contains all yang lines, and it's one of the most auspicious readings. And whoever draws this hexagram is assured success if they follow its 6 stages of development, starting with the bottom line. By being sensitive, right, to conditions and doing things in the right order, we develop more influence. And that means to make real what has only been potential before this moment. So if you have a notebook of dreams, or you've been daydreaming that, maybe you want to do something, the time is now. Believe in your dreams and persevere, and everything around you will flourish. Call upon your creative power and let it do the work through you. Call upon it and stay focused on your goals. Call upon it and don't allow yourself to be distracted. That's hard for me. Hey, air signs, are you being distracted? You might lose that power that's around you right now. Like, do it, do it, do it. Remember that when you take action, success requires making the right moves at the right time. Now, there are a lot of change lines as we're shifting into revolution, and here's the guidance. Be wary of personal ambition that exceeds your true power, lest there be cause for remorse. So avoid arrogance. Isolating yourself will only lead to sorrow. Now's the time to engage in conflicts, not a time to engage in conflicts or to criticize others. Relax and recharge your creative potential. Call upon your collaborators, your supporters, your helpful people. If you've been hearing the word collaboration quite a bit, I'm not surprised. A couple of my friends, and I've seen it out there too, and my virtual friends too, we're tapped and tuned into collaboration. To be able to compete against the larger corporations, just monster corporations out there, especially if you're a small business owner, you need to collaborate. If you're looking to make significant social change against all that's going on in the collective, find your people and do it now. You are a magnet in this energy for the right people. You can be discerning and know who is for you, and recognize the gifts and goals and talents in your people and activate it, right? You'll know you have a common goal in mind, and this is now the time to embody it. There's the chimes. Okay, before I reveal what came of our reading for our emotional aura frequency, went off in a little rant there. Okay, so that's from the divine. Be wary of your personal ambition, and also don't isolate yourself. You can't do this as a silo. That's not a medal to display. Like, I did it all by myself. Yay. Well, how about look for ways to collaborate? It's more fun. It can give you an edge. It takes a lot of the weight off sometimes too. Events are moving in the right direction as we're looking at, this earthly realm. Your influence is growing and you are being noticed, but the real game has not begun. Take a wider perspective and your best strategy will become clear. You are not yet in a position to make great changes, but taking wise advice and aligning yourself with an ally could lead to a significant breakthrough. Really just what I was talking about. Look for your allies. Look for those who aren't going to tell you what you desire is impossible. They're going to say, how can I help you? How can I help you get there? Or I can see what you see. Let's do it. Especially as we're talking about this next energy revolution. Lake above and fire below. Lake above and fire below. Really cool. I like that it's divided. It's interesting and layered. It's got a lot of self-knowledge and wisdom colors in it. I love that fire burning in the lake. So the elements of this hexagram are fire underwater, right? Fire evaporates water and water puts out fire. Similarly, change often causes conflict and conflict brings about change. So I've been doing a lot of talking on the Conscious Collaboration Collective podcast. We've been talking a lot about tower moments, great tower moments that cause revolutions or the change that you always needed. But it's like your test, right? It's like, and it's 4:44 here. It's a test. It's a dramatic change is in the air. And in order to succeed, a revolution must be in alignment with the laws of nature and good timing. It must begin at the right moment, gather support from a broad base of people, and be guided by sincere and capable leaders. And most important of all, address a real need. The strength of the force of change will always be in proportion to the urgency of the need being championed. This is true whether the revolution is in government, business, education, or your own personal affairs. I love this one too. So chaos. There might be chaos around you right now, but it's an integral part of the way things evolve. Chaos theory, right? As any parent in evolutionary science will even confirm, chaos precedes creation. And here we are in creation and moving into another cycle. It's going to be fast and furious. This hexagram reminds us to have the courage to radically change and renew the way we bring ourselves to life. In this way, you can channel chaos to your cause and unleash, I like the word, I said unleash earlier too. And sorry for my phone there. And unleash a new power on behalf of the good. If engaging in a negotiation, change the rules. If composing a piece of music, add the unexpected. If courting a lover, dare to be unconventional. Yeah, revolutions don't happen within convention at all. There's no box, there's no glass ceiling, there's no rules. Stop looking up the rules because there aren't any. You're making them as you go, right? I'm really excited. I'm going to turn down my phone because I feel like it's going to blow up again. But there's no rules here. You're making the rules. You are the tower in this instance. It talks about a new season, right? I love this. I love everything about this reading. This is a great energy to be in for the collective. I'm so happy that you're here. So let me know in the comments. Are you engaging in negotiations right now? Is there something happening in your personal relationships, your business? Stop looking outside yourself for advice. I know it's fun to be here and get the readings on the collective, but these are really just to give you a bird's eye view of what's going on. And you'll know, your mind will pick up on any indications that this is something that's meant for you. If this is not resonating at all, just appreciate it for enjoyment and move on, right? Or change a channel. But if this is something that's speaking directly to you, and you have been feeling like you're wearing a mask, or you have witnessed others wearing masks, and there's been a lot of talk about illusion and disillusionment, right? It's time, maybe you shake things up. Maybe you are the chaos. Take off the mask. Don't need to follow convention in this way. Find your people. And what a better way to find your people than to take off your mask, right? And just really be you. You don't want to be necessarily insulting to the entire world. Maybe you do. Maybe you just, need a smaller amount of people and supporters. But really have the courage to do things differently in this energy, because everything is indicating that you are supported, and have faith in that. And just keep moving forward, right? A little bit at a time is all you need to push that needle and to keep on moving forward. Let's see what's going on. What were the results of your emotional aura frequency calibration? Just because you go to church doesn't mean you're a Christian. I can go sit in the garage all day and it doesn't make me a car. So really, practice what you're preaching. And this is by no means like a religious, this is by no means like whether you're Christian or whether you're Hindi or whether you're Buddhist or atheist, it doesn't matter. This is talking again about how we're showing up in our energies, right? This software is pulling upon just random iterations of ways to communicate to us how we can resolve our energy and what it's telling us to think right now. Just because you go to church doesn't mean you're a Christian, right? Just because you can't just go through the motions or sit in the environment. It speaks a lot to Feng Shui also. You can be in the most Instagram-worthy house, designed by the most talented interior designer, and feel a disconnect. Our spaces are extensions of our personal energy. That I fully believe as a Feng Shui practitioner and professional, and I see it time and time again. If you are just sitting and going through the motions, you're not going to ever feel that alignment and connection to yourself, to your goals, to your space. You're never going to feel at home. And you're not actually going to be that which you desire until you embody it fully. And so I know it was using Christianity as an example, but for those of you out there, it might resonate with you deeply. Just showing up to church doesn't make you a Christian. Just showing up, in your work as an entrepreneur doesn't make you a professional in those means. It's really full immersement in the principles and values. So I hope that resonated with you on some level, and I greatly thank you for sticking around with me. Before I go, I want to give you a little bit more Feng Shui homework to connect with this reading. So we were talking about mask, right? Talking a lot about presence. Now in Feng Shui, there is an area of Feng Shui in the Bagua energy map that I'm going to pull up and show you. Hopefully this works. I'm going to show you where I collect all of my clients' presentations here. Hopefully. Let's make it smaller. Okay. So here are some examples of floor plans that I'm working on for some of my clients. The center back from the front door, this map has been aligned with where the front door is situated, minus the map's not going to encompass any extensions, right, or omissions, but the back the back center space is portioned off to be called the fame and reputation area. Now, the fame and reputation area is ruled by fire, and it is connected with, show you a better version of the map. It's just my transparency I use with clients. So, okay, so the center back area here, let's get rid of this little box, is connected with fame, reputation. It's your marketing to the world, right? So we're talking about like taking off the mask and really fully embodying and really being aligned with our authentic self. I want you to find that center back area of your home, your workplace, or your desktop, and place something of fire. It can be a candle, a lit candle. It can be a pyramid, represents fire in Feng Shui. It can be something of flame color. It could be twinkle lights. It could be anything that represents, it could be a crystal, a carnelian, something red flowers that represents fire to you. Now place it in that area. And I want you to connect in with that authentic self of yours. And maybe it appeared to you in this reading and you're like, yes, that is what I want to do. Like that's my cause, that's my mission, that's my purpose. And I want to emanate that and make social change or career change more aligned with my authentic self. Now place it. It could be red artwork even. It could be artwork. You can even use a phoenix, for example, if it represents the fire and like who you are, especially if you're escaping that, or a dragon, especially if you're escaping that tower moment and you're being unleashed. Keep that in mind, right? You're a force. So place that object in your home, workplace, or even on your desktop. You can Feng Shui your desktop. And I want you to just stay in that vision and really fully embodying that which you desire. Place it. I would like you to use a mudra. You can use prayer hands. And I would like you to use a mantra. You can use Om Mani Padme Hum. You can use I am, fill in the blank, whatever it is that you connect with I am. And say that 9 times, okay? And if you can visit that within as long as you can, maybe once a day for the next 9 days. I'll say 9. Let's keep it in the 9s. 9 means completion of a cycle. It means that you're bringing together, you are bringing to life a goal, right? There's resolution. That's what I connect it with in Feng Shui. I know it means different things in tarots, but completion of a goal and actualization, self-actualization. And I want you to do that 9 days. Visit this area of fire, fame, and reputation, your marketing to the world, and in that space of gratitude as if you are ready. that which you desire. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a long time, so it's a little bit extra longer. Feel free to hop on over to the link provided in the description. You can find me on other places out there, ranging from the Conscious Collaboration Collective, on Facebook, as well as High Vibe Entrepreneurial Women. I do have an event coming up in June too for entrepreneurs of any background, any kind of entrepreneur that wants to come out there and spend a couple of days, 3 days with me in Miami or virtually with a friend, a guru in marketing, and also a dear friend and mentor in spiritual dowsing. It will help change your business for the better. And I invite you to check it out if you're feeling called. And many blessings times 9. I hope I see you sooner than later, and I hope this served you well. Bye.